And so just to let you know, simply meditating in silence on the energy that we just invoked, if we did that for the whole hour and a half, that would be an intensely powerful practice, which could really help a person to grow spiritually. However, not many people can handle silence. It's true. True, because otherwise I wouldn't even know, I wouldn't even talk or say anything. It just would be, everyone would just sit in meditation and you immerse yourself in it, and what it does is it just pulls you in deeper and deeper and deeper, and after you open your eyes and suddenly the hour and a half is gone and you feel fantastic. So, but our mind runs, obviously. What am I going to do tomorrow? What did I do today? What are the duties? What are the sounds? Who's here? Like all the sort of like chatter that happens in the mind, and it takes us away from really getting the essence of that energy. That's what our mind does. It's like it runs away and to Timbuktu, some other place, and like, oh, I'm here. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So then what are we doing here? That's a good question. It's a very important question. Let's say, oh, look, Larry's here. Melissa says hello. Darla's here too. We're here to attune to, you could call it a transcendental vibration, something that's beyond your mind, something that is so beautiful and pure, and I don't have a lot of words. Amazing, sweet, awesome. It seems like words can't really express the beauty of the transmission in the gathering. But there is a reason why I hold these and have been holding them for years, because I feel that it's the most important thing that we can do to transform ourselves, and then to take the energy into our daily life and our daily interactions and our activities. So if you're cooking, you may be chanting, like we chanted Purnam Premam Saranam. You're cooking or making a smoothie or whatever, then the smoothie gets infused with the energy of that mantra as you're saying it. What a beautiful thing. And then when people drink it, Susan, what did you put into this smoothie? It tastes extra good today. Well, I just put a little bit of transcendental love. You're like, wow, that's a fancy ingredient. High class smoothie. It's like that. So when you make your dinner or whatever, your meal gets programmed with your mood, with your energy. So you can really change things. And then when you feed that food to people, what usually happens is the food is programmed with also the energy of all the people that handle it. People who picked the food, people who transported the food, people who marketed the food. Everyone gets to put their energy into that food, and then you're eating all of that. And by the way, most of that energy is not so good for you. Yet still people sort of eat mindlessly. So then that's why it's so helpful. Before you eat, you can have your intention to sort of change the vibration of your food. So you can take the mantra, we said Purnam Premam Saranam, chant it a few times to your food, and then it literally transforms the molecules of that food, and then you eat it and take it in, and then your cells get nourished by that energy and vibration. And then your cells are like lit up with the love, because you can change the vibration of your cells. Absolutely you can. So this is not just about illuminating your mind and your soul, but the very particles of your body, and everything can get into alignment with that energy. Prema means divine love. Prema. So everything can vibrate with that frequency, and then you become an embodiment of that energy. You're a walking, I was going to say walking love machine, but that kind of sounds strange. A beacon of love. Like that. You're beaming. And people can oftentimes tell, because they go, oh, you look rather glowing today. Have you been working on your skin tone? Have you been tanning or something? What have you been doing? Oh, I've been just bathing in the energy of mantras. Really? It's like then you start a whole conversation. Well, what's a mantra? What's a mantra? Mantra is a power word. We were just talking about witches. Witches are usually, the old witches are the ones that are really in tune with nature and are able to make, use all kinds of cool natural ingredients to make all kinds of remedies and stuff. And so people take them and then, they were able to cure all kinds of diseases and all kinds of issues through their deep connection with nature itself. So mantra can be part of the witchcraft. And so you're casting a spell, and then it's invisible, but it works. Some people will be able to feel it, some people not. You have to refine your consciousness enough to be able to experience the essence of it. If your mind is very focused on, I'm here in a body, then it's going to be much harder to connect to mantra. You really have to expand yourself. You refine, I say refine, you become more soft. Then when you chant it, I feel now the love. This mantra makes so much sense. Hi, welcome. Hello. Hi, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
So we're going to do a meditation. So you came just in time for the meditation. If you just waited a second longer, you would have missed it. So perfect. You must have planned this. So this is going to be meditation to expand the heart. So normally with our love, we can love our dog, we can love our cat, our children. We have this sort of circle of love. But what if you could expand your love to be so big that it encompasses everyone and everything? And everywhere you go, you feel and see the presence of love. People could be whispering in the background, and you're like, is that the sound of love? You could be fanning yourself with like a nice breeze, and all it feels is like the breeze of love. Just every single you could be eating grapes and just the sweetness of love melting in your mouth. Drinking tea, the tea is so sweet, I'm in love. Like that. I'm serious, you could be like that. Now most people don't act like that. You go to work and very serious. We've got to get things done, I'm going to say this, but it's kind of a male mentality. Got to get her done, very serious about getting from point A to point B. No one's interested in feeling the love. So you go to work and go, hey guys, let's get together, hold hands, and let's try to experience love. Let's have an appreciation gathering, and each person name something they appreciate. Like, who does that at work? Does anyone? Right? And you could do it by yourself if you wanted to, like mentally. If you really want to kind of clear issues with coworkers, then you try to see, instead of oftentimes we go, oh, that person, God, they're not doing their job. God, I wish they would do better, you know? So then you go to work and you go, there's Larry, he's so loyal. You know, maybe that, you know, he may have other issues, but the loyalty you can really appreciate. And so when you pick out the thing that you appreciate most about that person, already it starts to spark your heart. And if that energy gets big enough, then you even see their little quirks and faults as kind of cute. Oh, he's cute. Larry, he's so cute. He is cute. Oh, I forgot he's here online. I forgot he was online. Oh yes, we were doing meditation. I have to be careful and forget what we're doing if you want to keep me on track. Otherwise I get lost. So sometimes, this is a funny story. Sometimes when I go to a church and I do like the so-called sermon of the church, and then right before the sermon I'll go up to the main woman, or it's usually, or the reverend, the main reverend, and say, so what was the topic again for this? What am I supposed to talk about? Like that kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, the topic's about whatever, presence or something. Oh, okay, I'll talk about that. No problem. Because I never plan anything. Why plan? It's more fun to be here now and have some sort of spontaneous discussion rather than like memorize a bunch of facts about love. Love is not facts. It's a direct experience of powerful presence that transforms you and the world around you. It's like an opal that transforms things, transfigures. Like, that's love. So we're going to start with 11 deep breaths in and out through the nose, slowly. And with each breath, imagine just breathing in the prema, or the energy of love, just into your being. And after the 11 deep breaths, we relax. imagining all the light of that prema, that mantra, Purnam Premam Saranam, that energy, accumulating in your heart chakra, your heart space. Just feel the glow there. Imagine that the light widens, fills your whole chest. The light spreads up through your throat, your neck, into your head, your brain, your face. Your whole mind illuminated with the light of prema, that love. And then it sort of flows down into your shoulders, into your arms and your hands. Moves down your torso. Into the pelvis, into the legs, all the way down to the feet, the toes. The light from the heart consuming the whole body. So now you have a light body. And then it expands into your aura. The light encircles you. And then the light of the heart expands into the room, fills the room. Expands even more to consume the entire house. Explodes into the atmosphere, into the outside air. And the light of the heart spreads through the neighborhood, consuming all the homes, the streets, the cars, the people. The whole neighborhood disappearing into the light. Spreading across the city. Massive wave of light spreading across and consuming everything. All the trees, all the lakes, all the rivers, all the forests. the light spreads across the state. And then across the country. Consuming all the mountains, all the cities, all the people. The entire civilization, the whole continent, flooded with this light. That keeps expanding across the ocean. And slowly the light begins to consume the entire surface of the planet. So the whole earth is glowing with the radiance of this light of the heart. And it pierces through the earth all the way to the very center, the very core of Mother Earth. The planet pulsating, Gaia pulsating. And then the light explodes into space. Consuming the planets and the sun. Expanding through space. Across the galaxy. Consuming the distant stars. The light infinitely expanding across the entire cosmos. Until there is only one light and all of existence consumed by this light. that infinite light. There is only you. One infinite being. So, although there is only one infinite being, let that infinite being sing the chant. Knowing that the entire cosmos is singing, not you as a person, but the infinite singing the song of the infinite. The mantra Premambo, which is glorifying the presence of divine love. Premambo, intention that the mantra pierces deeply into your heart center. The mantra awakens, becomes alive there. It's very important to stop after each mantra, to really take your time to feel it, to know what it is. It's not just singing a song and having some fun singing. It's a communion, awakening to your superpower. The love is the superpower. Very much latent in the majority of human beings. And oftentimes, it's hard to handle the energy of a mantra, some of the mantras that I'm sharing. And one reason is because they have such a strong purifying effect. They don't necessarily make you happy right away. They're designed to push out your darkness, so there's more room for the light. So it has it's like a multi-dimensional thing. And amazingly, the energy of the mantra knows where to go in each person's system to clear out what you most need in your life to grow spiritually. I mean, that's magic. I mean, that's incredible intelligence if you think about that. One reason I say that, it kind of, this may be a little bit hard to understand, and I don't expect people to really get it, but it's fine. I'm going to say it anyway. We lit a candle for Swami Purna. People online, well, you can't see him because I'm holding him. They can see it. Swami Purna is an unusual being. Sort of great mystery. And so part of who he is an embodiment of the infinite love that we're speaking of, which is extraordinary in itself. But then when he gives a mantra, the mantra has this amazing intelligence to work with each person individually. That doesn't happen with most spiritual teachers because it's rare to come across a being who's truly in communion with the divine. And the divine is at a different level than spiritual. Spiritual is a certain level of growth when you become spiritual, but divine is something else. Divine is, we'll say spiritual is a presence, but divine is knowing yourself to be all of existence. So when you're in front of a great being such as Swami Purna, he is you. So he will know exactly how your karmic makeup is. He knows you. He knows what you're thinking. He knows your past, your future. Every particle of you, he's aware. Again, because he is you. A spiritual person feels presence and has a sense of oneness, but that's not even close to divine. It's interesting. It's a huge gap between the difference between a spirituality and true divinity. So when a divine being comes down onto earth, it's a glorious moment because such a being will balance out millions of egos, you could say, that are fighting against the light. So, and if we did not have those beings incarnated onto Earth once in a while, probably Earth would have destroyed itself by now. I would say Earth, but humans would, because humans are the custodians of Earth, would have destroyed it long ago. But thank God for the influence of the great beings. And, other beings such as this would be Christ or Buddha or Ram or Krishna. Those would be other sort of examples of Muhammad, examples of Allah, of beings who are, you could say, an embodiment of absolute pure truth. And when you get to be in the presence of such a being, it is a wonderful, wonderful blessing. And the energy can work off the karma of many, many lifetimes and help you to take huge leaps on your spiritual journey. So that excites me. This is the intention for this lifetime, is to release everything, release whatever this person is, let it all go. And then there's a merger. A similar metaphor would be like the salt doll walking into the ocean. After it walks into the ocean, then where's the salt doll? It is the ocean. So it would be a good kind of metaphor. So one could say that this is an extraordinary happening to be exposed to such an energy. One could say even an auspicious event. I'm very thankful to Susan, who has allowed such a gathering. I've been a wandering monk for a long, long time, and going from city to city and contacting all kinds of spiritual people. And I would say that most people say no, we're not interested. And that's just because most spiritual people are not really in tune with the energy yet. I would say yet. But some will be able to sense it right away and know, okay, clearly, we need to do this. This is very important. This is like a monumental event. And and it's interesting. Some people will even look at the invitation itself and go, yeah, that's it. I'm going. There's a sense. It usually, if you're in tune, you intuitively know, yeah, I'm supposed to be there. Rather than a person who's convinced by, usually the husband will come if the wife begs the husband to come. I'm not saying that's always the case, but I've come across that so many times. Where I'm talking to the wife, and the wife says, yeah, I convinced my husband to come. That's not intuition. That's a little bit of a coercion and convincing. We were talking about that. That's like if the person really wants to come, they'll feel called. They'll know because their soul calls them. Because ultimately, when you become aware of the energy and your soul awakens even a little bit, it can detect where to go. It knows where to go, and it will be drawn. Some people will drive a long ways to get to a gathering like this because they know the importance. That is a person who is in tune with their soul. Otherwise they want to go on a date on what's today? Monday? Maybe not Monday nights. But they want to stay home and watch a TV show and, drink a beer or something like that. And then they go, oh, this is my meditation. I feel so relaxed. This is my love. I'm so loved and intoxicated. And I get that. There's something delightful about that. But the only problem is that you're using an outside source to get the pleasure. Here, it's awakening your inside source so that you become self-sufficient and loving and joyous without any need of any drug. I don't care how good the drug is, including ayahuasca. I never needed ayahuasca. I remember also there would be people, because I traveled straight for 3 years living out of my van, and I would go to places where I went to this one place where I was like, oh, would you like smoke some marijuana with us? And I said, no problem, I don't really want any, but I'll watch. And I was just looking at the marijuana before they even lit it, and already I was high. Why? Because I tuned into the vibration of the marijuana. If you're in tune with the energy, you don't need to smoke the marijuana to get the effects of the marijuana. You tune into it, and already you're in cloud 9, right? You probably have done that before. And then you get so in tune, especially if you're into nature. Like I often suggest going out into nature and becoming more in tune, because if you sit quietly in nature and you watch what is it called, the American River? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you just watch, you can start to feel yourself really attuned to the water, and not just appreciate the water, but merge with the water, and you become one with the elements. That's getting closer to a divine principle. Right? You're becoming the water itself. You're not in the body. You are the river, and you feel the coolness, and you feel yourself flowing as the American River itself. So divine means more of a merger rather than just feeling energy or a presence. That's why I said it's a whole different ball game that's amazing to find. So here we are interested in finding the divine experience of love, not just an emotional, oh honey, I love you, you're so sweet, like that. That's an emotional love, and it's usually, if the person does something for you that's nice, our heart opens and says, oh, I love them so much, they do so much for me. That's usually what human love is. It's a condition. If someone does something kind to me, then I open my heart. If they do something mean to me, then my heart will automatically close. So see how open your heart is if someone is shouting profanities at you, saying that you're a bad person. Say they ran in, let's say this as an example, right? You're driving on the freeway and someone smashes into your car and it's their fault. Then you get out of the car on the side of the road, and then they get out, they start yelling at you and say, why did you smash into my car? And then you try to remain with an open heart. And most people would say, pretty much everyone would shut down. And it would be impossible to love such a being. To divine love, there's no shutting down. It's always a loving appreciation of existence as itself. No matter what the outside world looks like, there's an inner knowing that the very nature of this cosmos itself is love. And I am that. So you can feel sort of the person shouting at you, and it's just waves of love. It's just a completely different experience of life. So that's what I'm interested in. That very much excites me, because it means you've transcended all the good ideas of good and bad. Because the way the mind works is in terms of good and bad. I really like this, but I don't like this, right? But the true divine love has no likes or dislikes. It just is. Yeah. And that's why Christ was so extraordinary, because, and I just love that quote, when the priests in the temple were saying, so did you know Abraham, our Jewish ancestor? Did you know? And then Christ simply responds, before Abraham was, I am. Meaning that I'm not this body that is being portrayed as a person. I am. Meaning there is only the infinite, only pure infinity, pure love, and there's no boundary, it is, I am. that's what he was saying. He was trying to portray divinity through that statement, and that's why I love it so much. And people are scratching their head going, what? It doesn't make any sense. So it's like a process of purifying your heart more and more and more until you have a clearer experience of the merger. And there'll be moments, maybe like a fraction, like a moment, like there's something amazing, and then that's like a carrot, like you get a taste, and then you want more. You get hungry. I'm going to say this, but like, I love it when people come to satsang and they're hungry. They want to be in the energy as much as possible. They're so-called chomping at the bit. They're very excited to grow spiritually. Those people are very, they're serious about their path, because this world's not easy to become illuminated, enlightened. You have to keep your eye out and work on yourself every single day to find the divine. And usually it's a multi-life process of working for, thousands of lifetimes of continuing to commune with the energy every single lifetime. And oftentimes, even in the next lifetime, we forget that we even did spiritual practices in the previous, we don't even remember our previous lifetime. This is interesting. So in this lifetime, we have a huge opportunity to soar, to make a gigantic stride, and I'm all in. I'm there. So, welcome to everyone online. Again. There are people, did you know that? There are people online. It's being streamed, so I'm just talking to the computer. There are people behind that screen. I'm saying hello to. Don't think I'm going mad. So, and I love to stream online, by the way. I love it, because it's like beaming it into the virtual world, and anyone can tune in. I just love that. It's fantastic. So, let's chant another mantra together. This is a mantra for invoking the bliss, the blissful aspect of love. Because when love gets strong enough, then the bliss hits. And when the bliss strikes you, then you do go mad. But it's a good madness. It's called divine madness. There's a word for it, unmad in Sanskrit. Unmad means divine madness. And you look at a saint who's in that intoxicated, blissful state, and most people would think that person's they've gone off their rocker. I get that. But no. They are in the world of so much bliss that they're consumed and lost. They can't even see the world. They're so gone. And that's what this next mantra really invokes for you. So you can develop and feel that directly for yourself. The key is tuning in. It's not singing the notes right or even getting the pronunciation right. It's you have an intention in your mind. I want to feel this. I want to get the essence of it. I don't want to just sing the song and say that was a fun thing. You see what I mean? It's a huge difference between the two. I mention it because in a lot of kirtans that people go to, they're mostly singing songs, and there's oftentimes a forgetting of that it's possible to merge and to disappear into the mantra. That's the part that's often missing. So just keep that in mind as an intention, so when you sing, you go deeper and deeper. See, and again, you can feel the energy of the room change, just me talking about it, because you see? Yeah, exactly. You feel yourself to being drawn in, pulled in to, like a vortex, into the energy of that love. Draws you in, and you almost start to lose consciousness. And, like there's a clear shift in the room. Just talking about it. Why? Because people start like, what does he mean by that? And then the intention is made, and everyone's mind starts to get absorbed into it simply by an intention. The mantra, Purnam Premam Anandam. Purnam Premam Anandam. Purna means wholeness, completeness. Prema means love, and Anandam means bliss. So you can chant it as you get it. Purnam Premam Anandam. 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 Purnam Premam this bliss runs through everything in creation, underlying all of it. It is immanent. Absolutely real. Shining eternally. Creations can come and go. And that bliss remains as it is. And you are that. So dive into that ocean of bliss. There's a story of a great saint around 1500 AD named Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was the one who was the inspiration for the Hare Krishna movement. Back then he was quite famous, and he had developed a divine madness. So one day, when he was about 20 years old, this was in a place called Navadvip, it's in India, he came out of his cottage with his mridanga. You've seen one of those drums, it's got the two sides about this big. Wraps it over his shoulders like this, and he's hitting his mridanga, and he's walking down the street, and he's singing, you know, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, up and they heard his drumming and his music, they didn't want to get up. It was too early. So then his first followers were the dogs and the cats, the deer, the mice, the rats, the raccoons. They were following him. They were his first followers. Why? Because the animals can feel. And they detect the energy. So they had this trail of animals. He's even sheep. You see pictures of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's surrounded by animals. And he's like always depicted like this, because that means he's dancing. And the animals are dancing around him. The bears are dancing. They're all blissful. And so he would go around singing this, and after a while, people recognize that, oh, maybe he's a great saint. So other people started getting up early in the morning and following him and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And it was so famous, even the Beatles sang it. Carried through time. So, and that mantra, if you really can feel it, first of all, it has to do a lot of purification on you. Like, it really has to go deep. It's not an easy mantra to chant because it's so purifying. But it can awaken that bliss that you'll be like him. You'll be like getting up 4 a.m. in the morning, and you'll be dancing, and your neighbors will be going, what is she doing? And then they'll think you're crazy, but then your 2 dogs will start following. And they'll be barking, and then they go, wow. The coyotes. See, the coyotes won't even hurt the dogs because they'll be following in bliss too. Just like last night. The coyotes were singing during satsang. We had the gathering in Lodi, and they were singing along with us. Or maybe they started singing first and I started singing with them. Maybe it was more like that. So then his energy was so powerful that whoever he met, if he just sort of touched their forehead, they would fall down into a blissful experience and tears would just be streaming down their face. And they may wake up 2 hours later from this blissful meditation, totally stunned. Right? That was the power of his energy. So, a saint is someone who is completely pure and is an embodiment of that quality. So when they even look at you or touch you, it just pierces straight through, and it does remarkable things. And usually you don't know what's happening. As I said, the energy kind of percolates through your system, works on your different chakras, works on the cells of your body, your organs, your thoughts, your soul. Everything gets worked on in certain ways. So it's quite a magical process. I'm amazed by that. And I will repeat this again because it's so important. You have to get a momentum where every day you're connecting with the energy. Because with that momentum, your excitement will grow and you'll be eager to do spiritual practice. And then your path will be on fire and you'll progress really quickly. Some people are more like, this is just a hobby. Just a hobby. But if you want to really reach the divine state, it has to become a way of life. Like your whole day must be aligned with the divine principle. You must keep connecting. So if you're at work, maybe you have like a screensaver of your favorite saint. And so, you're always seeing the picture of that saint when you sit down at your computer. And if you can play a little bit of music in your cubicle or wherever you work, then you play music that's charged. That's why I produced the CD with the mantras on them, so people could play and connect to the energy of the mantras. And then they wouldn't need to come every day to, like, say, a live kirtan or something like that. They could have that, then they could play it. And I remember even There's this one woman who took the CD and she said to me, "Oh yeah, I play it constantly all day long. It doesn't stop." I thought, wow, that's amazing. I don't know if I could handle that. So, and she loved it because it charged the energy of her house, her room. And vibration of the air changes when you're playing the music that is, again, the key is have music that is genuinely spiritually charged. So the mantras should come from a master. Not that they should. I'm not saying anyone should. There's plenty of people who sing mantras that they didn't necessarily get those from a master. They just kind of liked the mantra and they sang it. But when you, like all the mantras that I've been given were given by Swami Purna. So it's an initiation where the mantra gets into your system and then you share it with others, and then the spiritual energy is much more powerful than if, let's say, I found the mantras on the internet to search Gayatri mantra. Okay, no, that sounds good, I'll chant that. Like it's a weak mantra because you don't know where the source is, and you don't have a true initiation. An initiation from a master is precious because it is your key to liberation. They have just given you a piece of them that you can now take home and chant that and bring that master's presence constantly into your space. Every day you're doing that, every day. You just keep attuning, immersing yourself until you become an embodiment of that mantra. Simple. It is, it's very simple. Okay. So I wanted to just chant one more mantra together with you, and then we'll conclude with the final prayers. And this mantra is Hari Om. And the mantra Hari Om means hurry home. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. we place our hands in prayer position in front of our heart. And we'll chant the mantra